Welcome to BTEC Revision. Today's lesson is on quadratic equations. By the end, we will be able to calculate the value of x using quadratic equations. Firstly, quadratic expressions take the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Quadratic would mean we have an x squared term. A is a constant and is the coefficient of x squared. B and c are also constants. B is the coefficient of x. When we set this value equal to 0, this now becomes a quadratic equation. For example, let's take the quadratic expression 2x squared plus 10x plus 100. If we set this equal to 0, this is now a quadratic equation. We can use this formula, a very special formula called the quadratic equation formula, and this can be used to solve any quadratic equations. Here we have a quadratic equation. To solve for x, we need to use the quadratic formula. But first, we need to convert this into the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So we can find the coefficients. Here we can see this is 1.5 x squared. So we can see that a is equal to 1.5. The next term, 30x. So we can see b is equal to 30. And for the last term, we need to take away 100 and set that equal to 0 there. So we can see c is equal to a negative 100. Now, using the formula, we'll take x is equal to minus b, which is 30. So that's negative 30, plus or minus square root of b squared. B is 30 squared. Take away 4 times a, which is 1.5, times c, which is negative 100. And we will divide all of that by 2a, which is 2 times 1.5. Now you can see here there is a plus and a minus, which represents that we can have two answers. So this will be x1, where we would add, and the second would be x2, where we would take away this term here. Now, if we add the square root value, which is also known as the discriminant, this would give us negative 30 plus, simplifying that using the calculator, we have 10 root 15 all over 3. And for the negative value, that would give us negative 30. Take away 10 root 15 all over 3. Now pause the video here and attempt these questions. Question 1, we can see that our a value is going to be 1, b value is negative 5, and our c value is negative 25. Now we can plug all of this into our equation, which is x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared take away 4ac all over 2a. Plugging these values in, we get negative b, which is 5, plus or minus square root of negative 5 squared, which is 25, take away 4 times 1 times c, which is negative is positive, that's 25, all over 2a. We can see x1 is equal to 5 plus 5 root 5 over 2, and our second value, x2, is equal to 5 take away 5 root 5 over 2. Question number 2, we have a is equal to 1, b must be equal to 0 because there's no x value, and c is equal to negative 16. Plugging this in, x equals negative b, which is 0, plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 0, take away 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 16. So negative, negative makes positive, all over 2a. And that is going to give us x1 equals 8, x2 equals negative 8. Question number 3, our a value equals 2, b equals negative 10, and our c value equals negative 100. Plugging this in, x equals negative b, which is 10, plus or minus minus 10 squared, so that's 100. Take away 4 times 2 times our c values are negative, so that's negative, negative gives you positive, times 100, all over 2a. So that's 2 times 2, so that's 4. The discriminant is equal to 30, so that would give us two answers. X1 is equal to 10 plus 30 is 40 divided by 4, so that's 10. And x2 is 10 take away 40, so that's negative 30 divided by 4, so that's negative 30 divided by 4. Now pause the video here and attempt this exam question. The first thing we will do is remember how to calculate the area of a rectangle, which is the length times the width. So that's going to be x plus 100, the unit is a millimeter, and that's multiplied with the width, which is x take away 30, which is also in millimeters, and that is equal to the area, which is given as 10,000 millimeters squared. Now we can see we can cross multiply, so that would give us x squared plus x times negative 30 plus x times 100 plus 100 times negative 30, and that's equal to 10,000. Simplifying, we have x squared, take away 30x plus 100x, so that's going to be plus 70x, and take away 3,000, that's equal to 10,000. Now we want to bring this 10,000 over to the left side, so we will finally get x squared plus 70x, take away 13,000 is equal to 0. So now we have our values. We can see a is equal to 1, b is equal to 70, and c is equal to negative 13,000. We can plug this into our equation. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared, take away 4ac, all over 2a, and that would give us negative 70 plus or minus b squared is 70 squared, take away 4 times a is 1, times c is negative 13,000 divided by 2a. So plugging that into our calculator, to calculate the discriminant, we have x1 is equal to negative 70, add, for the first value, 10 root 569, all over 2. So we can simplify that further, so that will give us negative 35 plus 5 root 569. For our second value, I'll write that at the top here, x2, that's equal to negative 70. Now we're going to take away 10 root 569 divided by 2, and simplifying, that gives us negative 35, take away 5 root 569. So here are both of our answers. And that's the end of the lesson. If you would like to boost your grades, try the quiz questions at btecrevision.com. Have a nice day.